Talk with Maserati's back. We're special, my brother, another king, Ferin Kidd. So go and introduce yourself to those who might not know you, because you know.
Indeed, yeah. So if you don't know me, my name is Ferin Kidd. I'm from Black OC, California. This my big brother, King Maserati Shield, and it's definitely overdue, but in perfect timing, brother. So I'm honored.
Yeah, so let's first, for those who might not know what Black OC is and what's Black OC's purpose, lay it out for them.
So I say the Black OC is a lot of things. Black OC, is a brand. Black OC is a culture. Black OC is a community, and Black OC is a movement. But I think Black OC could best be summarized through the mission statement, which is a creative movement utilizing the power of hip hop to build community, establish greater equality among all demographics while promoting a higher standard for urban culture. Black OC is the place where art meets activism and entrepreneurship.
Okay, dope. And I also want to let y'all know out there, producing today is Jamal from True 100 Radio. He is on the engineer. Y'all can't see him. We keep it like that for a reason.
Killers moving silence.
Killers moving silence. We can't be. You start showing them on camera. They want to get paid and shit. And I ain't got the budget for it. Niggas talking about, I engineered the show. I was part of the show when it started. So, I asked you today, literally on a whim, what I've been. We're actually building this look and this new look for Talk with Maserati, because before I never was on the camera with the person I was talking to, the conversation or interview, whatever you want to call it. But then it was like, people were like, well, why don't you hop on there, the energy? So I was like, man, the first person I want to do it with was my bro. Yeah. So for those who don't know you, they only know you as Black OC. Because remember, some people call you Black OC. Give them a small background of you. Not Black OC, a Ferin Kidd, though.
Yeah, man. So, I'm 35 years old, born and raised in Orange County. Definitely proud of it. You know what I'm saying? I done lived across cities all across, Orange County at different points in my life. I'll definitely say, the cities that are most closest to me are Orange and East Anaheim.
Shout out East Anaheim. They're coming through thick now. Trey Hendricks from East Anaheim. Shout out.
But I spent a lot of time on the west side too, you know what I'm saying? That's just where Black youth hang out, you know what I'm saying, exactly. When I was coming up. But yeah, man, I spent a lot of time getting in trouble, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of youth, you know what I mean, especially coming through the 90s and the early 2G. In and out the juvenile hall, 16, caught that juvenile life case, spent, 3 years in YA, did cool, got out, but still had a lot of criminal in me.
Not to cut you off, explain to them what juvenile life is, because they don't have that no more.
Okay. Yeah,
so explain to some people, they might not understand what juvenile life is.
So I have 5 counts of armed robbery. I just robbed some cats like for their weed and their money, but I did it at gunpoint. And so they gave me, they were going to charge me as an adult. I was 16, but the judge was like, man, if I charge you as an adult with 5 counts of armed robbery, you're going to essentially go to prison for the rest of your life.
There's no future.
So he said, but it's a serious case, so I'm gonna keep you as a juvenile, but I'm gonna give you a juvenile life sentence, which is until you're 25 years old. So at 16, I had 10 and a half year sentence. But if you do good, they have early parole. So it was 2 years was my parole. I made it out in 3. So yeah, that's a juvenile life sentence till you're 25 at that time. Nowadays they got it where maybe if you're 14 years old, they could charge you with an adult sentence, convict you as a life. But back then they could do the same thing, but they also had I won't say an opportunity, but they had the possibility of just giving you a juvenile life sentence, and that's till 25.
Was you at YTS or Nellis?
Nellis first, and then YTS.
Okay,
so fucking worst.
Gladiator school. That's what make this is what I tell anybody, right? And I feel like I'm confident who I am as a man, but I used to tell when we was growing up, the worst thing to fight was a YA baby coming out of Nellis and YTS, because all they did was fight Jamal. Jamal was looking like, what the fuck are they talking about? These niggas just fought for no reason. They did leg locks where they locked legs and just fought like this. It wasn't, and it was just, you gotta understand, back in the 90s, early 2000s, YA was where gangbanging was at its finest. So you gotta understand the mindset of a nigga coming from, and I'm not capping, there's no jokes, a light-skinned nigga coming from Orange County.
Yeah. I think, I tell people all the time, I say, I'm from Orange County, but I grew up peripherally around Los Angeles gang culture. And that's because it's not many of us that was inside the Y. And that's, you know, it's when they say what they call you, where you from.
Where you from? That's the first thing.
And that's why I introduced myself. My name is Ferin Kidd. I'm from Black OC. You know, I'm identifying my culture and my community.
Your tribe.
And my tribe.
I think it's important we say tribe, because you say a lot. You always tell me tribe.
Yeah,
I think people understand your tribe, because we are in a time of tribalism and who we gravitate to. And that's how I met you. It's like, I'm Ferin Kidd from Black OC. I swear to God, on everything I love. I was like, who? What? I was like, who's this nigga? I was asking because we was it Slip's thing, or it was one time before that, or was the first time Slip's thing? It was Nipsey thing. I think you came at the end. At the end, because I think I
was Nipsey passed before Slip?
Yeah, Nipsey passed April. Was it April, March? Thing we really forgetting this. It was a Sunday. It was a Sunday. It was like April.
It was like the last day of March.
Yeah, like last day of March. It was a Sunday, 31st, and then Slip passed in July.
Yeah.
So I think you came to the Nip one at the end, and you introduced yourself. And I had been going back and forth with Heck and Ray Well. You was like, yeah, you know, I'm working with them. And I was like, all right, it was kind of offish, but I always tell people when I first met him, he always had this thing putting this responsibility on me. Like, bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But then I remember we had a talk. I understood it after a while.
Absolutely.
So you get the juvenile life.
Okay, y'all.
You come home. Still back in the streets. Or did you simmer down?
No, I simmered down. So my hood, when I was out here, I called it a clique. You know what I'm saying? It's called YNL, Young Niggas Lesson.
Okay.
You know, and we knew everybody. Del Monte's Water, all the.
Let's give everybody a backdrop. So if you don't know, in the late 90s, 2000 culture in Orange County, there were cliques. They kind of moved like gangs because you had Sex Money, you had Loped Out Crips, you had what was the other ones? It was
and Sex Money with
Maniacs. Maniacs. It was after you.
Yeah.
It was Maniacs. You had all these little cliques.
When I was coming, you had PLCs.
People like Crazy.
You had
Black
Dirty
Players.
Max.
Dirty Max was in one part.
Obviously, you know what I'm saying, like the originals, the Gators,
Bloodale, Shelly Street, Nut Hood. People don't know about Nut Hood.
Del Monte was big, was really big. You know what I'm saying?
Royal Simone Posse. No, was it Royal Simone? Was it Royal Simone Posse? Yeah,
RSP.
Royal Simone Posse. Freak Mob was out.
You had back, you had Deuce Trays, but when I was coming up, I touched you had Gangsta Disciples out there.
Yeah, GDs. You had Deuce Trays. It was off the McFadden, Pasadena.
Yeah.
It was right there.
You know, so my clique, we was young, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know, motherfuckers knew who niggas was, you know what I'm saying? We was proud of it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think a lot of people don't understand this, and I want to say it, because we're not glorifying it, we're just going down memory lane, is back then, we really didn't, like, low-key kill each other. We fight, but it was still some type of unity, because if we went to, like, a 714 day, and we went to a barbecue, oh, that's the niggas from over there. They know what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we didn't have the same kind of, we definitely didn't have that. I think most of what we had problems with, and then some of the, I know for sure I contributed to some of that, and I'm not proud of it, is a lot of racial gang conflict. So that's for me, that's how, before I moved to East Anaheim, I lived in Orange, in the neighborhood that I drove to there yesterday, as a matter of fact. And it's in a small neighborhood, but it's called Orange County Criminals. And they're Sureños. And you know, so I'm there from 9 till I'm 13 in that particular neighborhood, and I always fought. You know what I'm saying? It was but it was cool. We was kids. But once I made that transition, like 12 and 13, these cats really started preying on me. And at first, I didn't understand why they was preying on me, because I wasn't engaged in street activity or nothing like that. But at some point, I began to realize that coming through the 90s, there was, you know, to the young Sureño gang member, I'm black.
Yeah,
I'm a mayate. I'm a nigger. You know, and I'm the enemy to them. Yeah, you know, even though y'all not my enemies, but I'm your enemy. So the violence level started to escalate, where there was guns, there was knives. The motherfuckers, we was squabbling. They jumping me, and frankly, I was scared. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit began to get scary to me.
And it's a survival. As humans, your survival mechanisms kick in. So a lot of people think fear is actually negative. Oh, you scared? No, that's my survival mechanism. Tell me to be aware of danger and to react. And not to cut you off, it's because I came from a similar background. Whereas when we came from Texas, which was predominantly black, sprinkled with Mexicans, and then Mexicans were with us. It wasn't against us. When I came here, I kid you not, it was no fight I had where I wasn't fighting 2 to 3 people. Mexican. I lived in Jeffrey Street hood. I lived in West Anaheim hood. I lived in Pauline Street hood, Citrone's hood, Folks hood. Everywhere I got was fight. And I used to tell them, like, but then I already knew what it was. Me just walking down the street black offends you because you're taught this hate from the pen on down.
Indeed.
So
all of that, and I remember it culminated in a situation where you motherfuckers came to my house, like, down there 20 thick, you know, and some of these motherfuckers, I'm 13 years old, some motherfuckers is grown men, you know, with the bald head, with the Cortez, with the shit, like,
the Ben Davis with the flannel on,
you know, trying to get it into my house. And I'm a 13-year-old, I'm the only black kid that live in my neighborhood. And I remember being in my kitchen, you know what I'm saying, I went and got some like kitchen knives out, and I called my partner, he was Puerto Rican. And so coming up, I used to go to Santa Ana as a kid. My cousin Amber used to fuck with Big Mac, who in the Barnes family, which they lived on Shelley and Willits. So I always just slide through there, and like I always felt like, because you'd always let me know, like, this your community, you know what I'm saying? But one of my partners, he was Puerto Rican. He about 15 years old. He wanted to be from Watergate. He never came from Watergate, but he wanted to be he wanted to be Baby Twist from Watergate.
I'm going to have to ask Twist about this. Twist, you know him, man.
Lil Twist, my partner. You know what I'm saying? Rocky, you know what I'm saying? But he wanted to be Baby Twist from Watergate. But in any case, man, you know, so I called him, and he was down. You know, he's Puerto Rican brother. He was down, you know, and he said he came running to the house. He lived in that neighborhood as well, and he came. He was with it, you know. They left. He came. He brought his girlfriend. She called back over down where they was at. The motherfuckers came back. He ran outside. That's my so-called big homie. You know, my, you know, not you know, in my. We didn't call that at that time, but that's
your
that's
elder.
My
that's the one who your mentor, the one who led you through the streets.
Yeah. I'm 13. He down there 16. You know what I'm saying? That's my big brother.
That's the big bro. That's the big bro.
So
yeah.
If he outside, I'm outside. You know
that part.
And we got fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Real good. I had to go to the hospital. Like, we got fucked up real good. But I remember when I got out the hospital, I looked in the mirror, and I still got like an indent in my skull from I got fractured, but. You know, I remember I looked in the mirror, and I 13-year-old kid, I don't know why I said this, but I said, y'all want a nigga? Now you got one. And from that day forward, I disassociated myself from anything that wasn't culturally considered black. Like, I was riding my skateboard, I was good at it, you know what I'm saying? Hella good at it. Skateboard up under the bed. I began actively searching out other black youth in Orange County. That was kind of, you know, in the same mentality that I was in, and I began targeting Mexican gang members.
Okay. It's a lot of people out there, and I'm gonna say this to y'all because y'all might not be aware of this. The 90s to the early 2000s was a certain type of music out with Tupac, Ice Cube, and other rappers who was like, basically telling y'all, if y'all want a nigga, we gonna give you the nigga you want. And not that influenced us, that was just the mindset of us, because people like me, I hit my intelligence because I'm like, me being smart, being a good person, it don't matter to y'all want a nigga. So I think that all of us go through that as black men. Some choose to stick to the script, like, you know, I'm just gonna not do that. And some of us do get involved because when they feel like the world's at you, like every time I turn, it's white, it's got Mexican, like Asians hating on me, and it's like, damn. So I got a question for you. At what age, because we all got a certain age where we get tired of fighting and we pick up the peacemaker. What was your age, and what made you pick up the peacemaker?
So my first encounter with guns was immediately when we moved to East Anaheim. So even how I got started with my homies. When we moved to East Anaheim, I had a homie that was from Orange, a Mexican homie, but he was cool. And he fucked with black folks, you know what I'm saying? He say nigga all, you know, he's like, you know, how motherfuckers grew up. But I remember I was walking down the street, he told me he seen me, and he said, oh, what's up, bro? You know, this is where I live at, you know, now. You want me to show you where the niggas hang at? And he took me to this apartment complex, and the apartment complex was cool, but it was Section 8. And it had a surprising, especially for me, for being a black kid, come from Orange County, living in Orange, and not outside of Santa Ana. Like, Santa Ana, I see black families when I'm out there, you know what I'm saying? But not really anywhere else. It had a surprising amount of black people in it. by virtue of the fact that it was Section 8. And many of the black families that was in there was actually like, you know, single mamas who were coming from other areas, LA, Pomona, like the IE kind of regions, you know what I'm saying, but who was in this space. And they growing up fatherless too, young kids. But we had a homie that was in there. He was from Hoover. He was 107. His name Tony. He ended up getting shot. He ended up getting killed out here. He got shot in the head by a Sorano. But in any case, when I was 13, you know what I'm saying, was when I got my first introduction. I had a little 22, you know what I'm saying? And I remember just, I got it and I was kind of scared to shoot it. I shot it in my room for the first time, right into my bed, you know, but that was my first introduction to having a pistol. And thank God, because the first time I was going to shoot somebody with it was going to be supposed to be a backyard. I was doing backyard fights in my house. Cause mom was gone, so I called all the homies.
Shout out to mom, wonderful lady. I met her.
Yeah, I love you, mom. Sorry, mom.
She put on for her son. She put on.
You know, but in any case, I was gonna shoot somebody in my backyard, man, and I, you know, because he was a bitch nigga to me. You know what I'm saying? And he could squabble. He was beating niggas up, so I was gonna shoot him in the backyard.
I love it.
And for some reason, they didn't show up that day.
God said, "No, don't go over there today."
Yeah, they really didn't show up that day, man. And but that became my first introductions to guns. And then after that, from 14 up, you know what I'm saying, it was always like, you know, I had a little 380s, you know what I'm saying, little 22, little 25s, and always kept one of those things. And always wanted to use it, but it's a God, bro. Just always kind of like, kept my situation tight enough that I wasn't shooting people. But I was robbing the fuck out of people.
Funny story, right? My first introduction to guns was my mom. When I was 9 in Texas, my mom had guns.
Shout out to moms.
Shout out, mom's a real one. Mom's a real one. So she used to have gun books all around. You know, and she had guns in the house. I checked out the guns and stuff. But in the culture in San Antonio, Texas, was you had to fight. You couldn't just run and get the pistol. It was but you gotta remember, I was 9 and it was like 90, 89. You know, in that era. So it's like you had to fight first. So growing up, I know I fight. And I say this to tell you how God works. I really didn't pick up the pistol to really go do work till like 16. This is 98. But at this point, gang banging is at its peak. We had Sureños ain't liking us. Skinheads ain't liking us. P9s in Huntington Beach ain't liking us. We even beefing with the Asians. So it was like...
And y'all was trying to beef with each other too.
We beat...
That's what she said, say, hey, gang.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's not about me carrying this piece to act hard. It's a survival. Because nobody want to be on a t-shirt. So, crazy story. This is when I knew God really had a plan for me. I forgot what year it was. It might have been 07, 08. I had just got the pen. We had off campus over there by Cal State Fullerton. And this is a true story. DJ River can tell you the whole story. So can D-Knox and my cousin Terrell. I'm with the homegirl. We call her Delicious. That's not her real name, but we call her Delicious. We with the homegirl Symphony and homegirl Winter. We had off campus, and these are all homegirls, right? And I'm walking. They're like, "Shells, walk us to the car." I walk to the car. I see a nigga behind us trying to holler at the females. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, just keep walking. You know how niggas think? Oh, you know, with that weird ass nigga, he probably one of them Orange County niggas.
Oh yeah.
So you know that's a trigger.
Yeah, that's a whole trigger.
That's a whole. I turn like, and he don't know I got the 380 on me, bro.
Yeah.
My homie is the security guard here. I'm in with that, but I'm not no dumb nigga. I'm not finna shoot up a club. So I'm like, hey, bro, just go home, man. Like, you drunk, you faded. Oh, nigga, what? Nigga, what you talking to? I say, my nigga, if it's that serious, we can fade, but we not finna fade with these females. These my homegirls. If they want to talk to you, they'll talk. Nigga, where I'm from, we don't do no fighting. Yeah. Now, mind you, we walking and talking the whole time. In my mind, I don't know that. We're in the parking lot, the homegirl car right here. Bro, I pulled a pistol out, try to go shoot the pistol, jam. It's a 380's on jam. It jammed. Homegirl like, no, Shells, don't do it. Slap my hand down. The moment she slapped my hand down, police, boop, get out the parking lot.
Damn, brother.
Damn, so look, my mind, I'm like, nigga, I showed the pistol that we in the navigate. I say, run, look, this motherfucker jam. I just tried to knock this nigga noodle back. So I'm like, man, something ain't right. So mind you, we go to our car. I'm in the car with Rum. It's me and Rum now. This is why I always keep Rum because Rum's solid. I like my nigga. This motherfucker shit went off. Kid you not. A car go past us, flip us off. I fuck that car. I put the gun out the window. Bah! It go off. Now I'm not trying to hit the car. I'm just shooting in the air. Mm-hmm. I said, Rum. It just jammed in that parking lot. Mm-hmm. But it went on. So I tell people a lot of times on my piece now and me changing my life and me trying to get back to communities because I know what I was doing.
Indeed.
You know. And I thank God that I never did nothing that the statute of limitations would not work for because you feel me? But I tell people because that's one thing I grew to love about you is because at first I didn't know you. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, he probably never really know shit, you know. But when I see people who've been through shit and can keep that calm and peace and get their message out, I have to respect it and I have to love it, especially coming from another brother. So, pick up the Peacemaker. When did you see that decline before you did that stint? Because there's a decline before the stint.
So now when I come home from YA, you know, that's a different kind of experience. You feel me? I'm out, and so it's about 19, going on the cusp of 20, bro. I'm also becoming like black militant. Like motherfuckers that I grew up with, gangbanging with. Mm-hmm. Some of them motherfuckers introduced me to Islam.
Okay.
So, and I already had God in me, but now I kind of like get like an Islamic, but also my Islam is a little bit radicalized. Yeah. And I'm not practicing like I'm making salat 5 times a day. Mm-hmm. Like that. I'm just a regular nigga. I smoke weed, sell weed, nigga, drink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's nothing wrong with that because Christians do it, Catholics do it. They think just because
and I'm transitioning. Yeah, like I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But also this thug life, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I've been running from the police my whole life, so I'm ready. So I gave up, bro. I thought I've been hustling, bro, since I was 13 years old, and now I'm on the 19, getting ready to transition into 20, and I go on the run again, and I'm like, man, there was a thought, like, man, I've been running from the police my whole life. I'm tired of running. I'm ready to hold court in the street. So now I elevate to the shotgun. You know what I'm saying? And I saw that it's a big one, but I saw it all. You know what I'm saying? I got 2. I got the 25.
How big are you at this time? Hold on, my nigga. You sound up to shoddy at this age.
Yeah, brother. I'm like this.
Hey, Jamal, can you do me a favor? Hand me the do say, brother, because I don't want to get off camera. They gonna think I'm unprofessional. I ain't been doing this. Then my ratings gonna go down. I'm not gonna get a sponsor. I'm already black.
So there's a whole story behind me and my bro right here, right? You know what I'm saying? But that's me. That's
what?
19.
Hey, I want them to see this. Hold on. I want to make. You don't even look the same. My bad. Look, I want them to make sure they can see it. Look, he doesn't even look the same. So
you ain't never seen that nigga flick off the camera. Like,
okay. Thank you. Hey, Jamal. Hey, this is Jamal. I actually work for him on a whole nother platform, but I think I'm going to quit. Once I blow up, I'm going to quit. And I shout out to Jay-Z. We off to do say, as you know.
So now, brother, I'm like, so the closest that I got to once again got divine intervention, you know, the closest I got to like really like, I got coached a few times, but like the most intense situation I got in where I was like, all right, I'm about to kill somebody was actually a police officer. Mm-hmm. Like, so that's why you would see my activist work, you know what I'm saying, and I'm not with y'all fuck the police or none of those things at this time, just because I understand that's not going to be really constructive to really building our communities and culture. So, but when we talk about like just pure like hatred and just not functioning with the system, you know, I was with all that. But so now I basically gave up, bro. I went on the run. I'm on parole. I went on the run, and I decided since I ain't in my young mind, since I haven't made anything out of my life, since I can't make it. That's how I feel. I'm gonna take it. So now begins the process of like, I've always been a little robber. Mm-hmm. I got introduced to robbery at 13 by my homie from GD. He taught me that if you want money, you can just take money, right? But and throughout my life, I was robbing. But now it was like every other day, I'd ride down the street. If I wanted, I'd take it. The only thing that I'm not taking at this time is I don't rob pedestrians. I don't rob people anymore. I'm not just like you're.
So no more civilians.
Yeah, it's like.
Real quick, shout out Cadillac Cass. He just came home from GD. Shout out Cadillac Cass.
Indeed.
You know Cadillac Cass?
It kind of sound familiar, yeah.
He had a little rap thing, but go ahead. You don't rap pedestrians, those civilians.
Yeah. No, so I'm running up and shit, and there's still some shit that I run up in that I don't feel really good about. You know, and I would love to make my way to Banks at this time, but I don't have nobody that's doing that.
Oh, you wildin'.
Yeah, I'm tripping.
You wildin', wild. Niggas robbing. He want to rob the bank. You know what's crazy? And I don't know if this is a good thing or bad. Like, I had the same kind of rules, which was I would only rob dope dealers and pimps. I go on Harbor. I'll be on the beach. I'd rob them. If you don't be kicked. You know, back then it was a B&E. Now they call it flocking. But we was doing that because it was like, to me, like, ain't no honor among thieves. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't no P. I really wasn't. I tried sending them. I didn't have the patience for it.
I did a little bit of that. When I was young, I had some homies from Del Monte that was pimping, and they
no good from Del Monte? Was no good from Del Monte or bro.
Slick. Little Slick.
Rest in peace. I think that's one that just passed. The one in the wood. Crow Black's brother. Or was it the other one?
But Crow Black brother was Slim.
Yeah, my bad. Slick. Talking about Slick Rick.
Slick Rick.
Shout out Slick Rick. My bad.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Slim. For sure.
Slim is dead.
Yeah, he passed away.
From what?
I don't know exactly, because you know he had caught valley fever and ended up in a
wheelchair. He passed away in there.
No, in here, outside on the streets.
He made it back.
Yeah, he made it
back.
They
charged him on some bullshit.
They had him on some bullshit. He made it back. Shot free powder. Powder's also in there locked up on some bullshit.
Yeah,
that's the one Slick Rick was on. Slick Rick went back for some other stuff. My boy, shout out Justin. Shout out Outkast. But yeah. So you tried the P thing.
Outkast was around.
Outkast, real one. Used to be crazy. I like how he turned his life around.
Did he?
Justin Roseman, he's a pastor. He do the church thing now, bro. You gotta see him on Facebook.
I gotta see him on Facebook.
Bro, look, one of my things is with me is people that I was in the trenches with, our age group be changing. And I like to promote that. You ever know who C Smooth was?
Nigga, that's my nigga.
C Smooth
doing
good.
C Smooth was robbing everything moving.
C Smooth was what? Look, C Smooth was a nigga. He was so
that's
wild.
my DMX nigga right there.
Grimy nigga. He don't care about the flashy shit. The nigga hop in my Cadillac shells. I done did all this. I said, my nigga, why would you hop in my car?
I can tell you a story about me in a move. We'll get
there. Yeah. Shout out C Smooth Brandon. You know you my nigga.
Indeed.
So yeah, like, and the reason why I'm saying this is to show people that, like, you a regular. I would call you a regular street nigga.
Yeah. That's all. I try to be the change that I wish I would have had. That's it. That's all. And niggas don't know, like, so for me the only reason why, like, I didn't do Watergate was because when I was young, like, that's Big Mac, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the Barnes family, the whole family.
Yeah. You better not go over there, nigga.
Yeah, like that. So I respected that, you know what I'm saying? But then I grew up always with different Watergate niggas, you know what I'm saying? And them was the homies, but I was just trying to find I didn't want to just join. I want to find my own way. So I found my homies, you feel me? But I was always kind of, from my homies, I was kind of always tripping, and it's not to, now I can look back and that was all, but that just stems from trauma.
Trauma, yeah. We all have PTSD?
PTSD.
We all have PTSD because you gotta understand, people think it's just, when we grew up in an environment full of hate, nigga, like, I'm talking about from the police, from other races, from your own people.
Yeah.
That's PTSD at its finest. Like, my nigga, every day I had to wake up understanding who I'm gonna fight today.
Yeah.
Who I'm gonna shoot today. Mm-hmm. Then it's like, the niggas you don't even know if this nigga wanna kill me. Cause I'm getting money. Cause I'm getting bitches.
Yeah. All that. I remember being in with one of your homies when I had a thing that, she was doing that. Instigate. Shout
out, hey. Free my nigga Instigate. He doing 75 to life right now. I love you, bro.
I'm about 14 years. They seen I had a little knot.
Yeah. And
they over there, just like, and that's just the thing, bro. I feel like in black culture we just didn't have.
We cannibals. We eat each other. We cannibals.
And I know that's just being young, dealing with the trauma that comes from being black. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we start entering the black OC and just trying to redefine the culture, and create the community. Because I tell myself all the time, I'm a positive social gang member. Mm-hmm. Meaning I still come from all of that, but it's how do I